everyone, I'm back with another layout. I'm using the new Cocoa Vanilla the Summer collection. I cannot remember the name of it offhand. And I have these photos of my son and his girlfriend, and they were at a graduation party. He just graduated college, and they had the most beautiful sunset, and what they were wearing worked out perfectly for this collection. So there's an ombre paper in the collection that I cut up into strips. And now I'm just taking some white gesso and I'm kind of just inking the edges of the paper with the white gesso just to kind of add a little bit of distressing, I guess, on the strips. And then I'm going to kind of ruffle up the edges a little bit too, to add some texture and a little bit of dimension to this layout. So I'm going to go through that with all of these strips, and then you'll see what I do. I'm also going to be I'm going to bring out a stencil and some Distress Oxide inks, and it's a newer stencil that I just purchased from my little scrapbook store. They also have this Cocoa Vanilla collection in stock, so I will leave a link to that in the description box below, as well as the stencil, which is from Picket Fence Studios. It's a slimline stencil, and I absolutely love this stencil. It's so pretty, and it's a really good size to where you will see that it works out really nicely on a 12 by 12 layout. So I guess I should have probably cut some of this out, and I apologize. But yeah, check out my little scrapbook store. It's an amazing community. They have a Facebook group, and it's just a small family-run store. And that's typically where I purchase most of my products. I am on their design team as well. And we do lots of lives and challenges every month. We also do online crops about every 3 months or so, where you can win lots of prizes. And they're just a lot of fun, a lot of information or inspiration, and a lot of participation. So you get also inspiration from the participants and from the design team members. And Michelle is just so awesome. And I love being able to support a small business. And not only that, but just a really wonderful family. So here we go. I think this is my last one. Yep. I'm going to go ahead and bring out just some white cardstock. And there is the stencil. I just attached it with some painter's tape. And if you ever use painter's tape, I suggest that you put it, get off some of the sticky I usually just press it against my shorts or my shirt or whatever, just get off some of the sticky, because I have had it kind of stick to some different papers. So I'm going to start out with some yellows. And I believe I used mustard seed for the yellows. And what else? Oh, okay. So mustard seed, wild honey. And then I used abandoned coral. And I end up coming back in with some warm lipstick and sponge sugar as well, because I should have added more yellows to the bottom, but it's okay. I still like how it turned out. But if I were to go back and do it again, it ends up having more pink that is showing than the yellow. So I wish I would have added a little bit more yellow, but still, I love how it turned out. One thing I'm doing here is I'm making sure to try not to go to the edge of the stencil, because I don't want that harsh straight line. I want it to kind of soften at the end. I did it is harsh on 2 of the different rays, but it doesn't bother me. The rest are perfect and exactly what I was going for. So yeah, I love how this turned out. Now I'm using just some blending brushes that I have. They're not a name brand or anything, but they're smaller, so it allows me to get into each little ray. And I'm starting out and I'm just blending between the two rays so that there's just like a nice even flow among the colors. Now, keep in mind that if you're using a blending brush or anything like that, and you're using Distress Oxide inks, you never want to go back and forth with a blending brush from Distress Oxides back to regular Distress inks or any other type of ink, because it will contaminate the oxide inks, and you don't want to do that. It's something to do with, what the kind of the formulation of those inks. When you intermingle, I believe, I don't know if it's pigment or dye inks into those, it can kind of mess up the formulation. So just keep that in mind when you're using your Distress inks. So there is my, and that bottom part's going to be covered up, so no worries there. And actually, that's a piece of paper I laid over there. So as you can see, I wish I would have added more yellow, but that's all right. I'll know for the next time that I need to, add more color there at the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and place my strips. I'm going to layer them down. Super easy, and this is going to be the base of where my photos are going to lay. This is a really, really, really simple layout, you guys. I have 3 photos. I've got a landscape 4x6, a landscape 3x4, and a portrait 3x4. So I kind of play around of where I want to put these, and I change it around a bit. You'll see here in a second. I decide to let that ray not have anything on top of it in the middle, and I end up moving that other photo down to the bottom. Now there's this really pretty blue paper in the collection, and I'm going to cut a piece of that to go to be my base on the bottom of the layout, and then that's where I'm going to house my title, is on that blue, because I have all of the texture on all of the strips. It was going to be very hard to really add any sort of title or anything on there. And it's kind of busy with all those different papers kind of layered up. So anyway, so there goes down my blue paper. And I'm going to go ahead and start getting those strips moved down. I start with the red at the bottom, and then kind of go up to the oranges, then the yellows, and then I end with the pink on the top. I don't know why I did it that way. Looking back, I wish I would have kept the pink towards the bottom, except I didn't know if I wanted the yellow up against the yellow ink. So anyway, I don't think it really matters which order you put them in. I think it would look good either way, to be honest. So here we go. I'm just going to back my photos just with a simple white matte. So this is the only paper that I'm going to use in this layout, is just that one ombre piece and then that one little piece of the blue paper. Okay, let's see. Here we go. Yeah, so this is how the base of my layout is going to be. I really, really love how it turned out. I love the idea of cutting that paper into strips. You still can use it the way it's meant to be, as like an ombre. And to me, it kind of represented like almost a sunset, or it could be a sunrise as well. I'm going to go ahead and I'll end up gluing down all of the photos. And I do put foam behind. I kind of glue them all together first, and then I put foam down. First, I'm going to put my title, and this comes from the Happy Scrappy bag. And these are gold foam thickers. And it's just going to say Happy Together, which worked out perfectly. Pretty simple title. It didn't really need to say a whole heck of a lot. I have a lot of photos from this day, so I don't need to put a title that is like it's graduation party or anything like that, because these were more just really pretty photos of the two of them. Sorry about my head there in the camera. I'm trying to line up that photo. There I ended up putting foam on the back. I'm just going to lay that down. And this collection comes with an ephemera pack, and then it comes with a pack of just flowers. Playing around up there with, I think that said love this, but it was just too much. I put a tab there up to the left. That's going to end up moving. And now I'm going to go through all of the flowers. And just kind of, I'm going to make 2 clusters. One where I'm working there, and then one at the bottom left. And those are going to be the only clusters in, I'm not going to really do, your typical triangle. I don't feel like I really need it because the photos are so close together that as you go from the top cluster to the bottom cluster, your eyes go across all of those photos at once because they're kind of one unit per se. They're not separate on the page or anything. And I didn't want to take away from the inking by like adding anything up to the upper left. So here we go. I'm going to add that little green leaf, and I do put some of these on foam in the end when they're all glued down. And then I'm going to add just a few other things to this, and that will be it. I'm going to add a clear rainbow sticker up to the upper right into that embellishment cluster. And then I'm going to add some puffy hearts, one to the upper cluster and one to the bottom. And I'm going to end up bringing in a different tab to put behind the photo. I hope this inspires you to create with this collection. It is absolutely beautiful collection. I can't wait to get more summer photos to use it. Right now, I really don't have too many summer photos. I'm waiting to get some photos. I put a clear sticker down there. I can't remember what it was of, but I do take both of those off. I don't really like them. Anyway, I was saying 2 of my kids recently went to Puerto Rico, so I need to get on them to get them to send me their photos from Puerto Rico so that I can use this collection again, because it is absolutely gorgeous. It's a very, the colors are really kind of rich colors for a summer collection. Not pastel-y and stuff like that, which I love because scrapbooking boys, sometimes summer collections get way too pastel for me. And it makes it more difficult to use. And I think it's because of what my kids are wearing. They're usually wearing more saturated, bolder colors. And sometimes that's just really hard to go up against, pastel colors. So there's that sticker sheet. Those are all clear stickers. And you can see I added that rainbow up to the upper right. And then now I'm going to add the puffy stickers. And that is the end of my layout. I hope you all enjoy it. I would love for you to subscribe and hit that like button. And check out Michelle's store. I'll have the link below. Have a great day, guys. Bye.